West, 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 West. This the West, 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 the West Coast. This the West, 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 the West, West. This the West, 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 the West Coast.
Ladies and gentlemen, the decision part 2 has finally come to an end. LeBron James finally has a new team at age 42, and we can finally get the rest of the offseason going and get ready for the new NBA season. The schedule can finally be released, and yeah, the King has a new home. So I'll break down what it means for him and his new team, and also break down where the other teams go from here that missed out on him, and see if they can recover and possibly compete next year as well. And I'll break all that down. And remember, guys, to always subscribe, rate, review, give us a like, give me a like as well. This is the West Coast Mindset presented by the Recliner Media Network. And let's get to it right now. And yes, the King, LeBron James, now resides in the city of not Cleveland, Philadelphia. Yep, Philadelphia. On the 2-year, $8 million deal. Took the veterans minimum to go for it all and try to get another championship. And it was a lot of twisted reports from Rich Paul and him saying that it was going to be a family matter, that it was mostly about family, that it was about LeBron not being too close, not being too far away from the family. He wanted to be in the West Coast, and the Warriors were a big possibility, and also going home to Cleveland was a big possibility. But at the end, LeBron at 1 o'clock in the morning, going into Friday, he decided, hey, I want to keep winning, and he said, I'm willing to be a third or fourth option, and ride my chance to win another championship. And he's doing that now in Philadelphia, because that team on paper, man, is absolutely stacked. I get it. There's some injury troubles there. I'll get to it a little bit with the man in the middle that I've always been very hard on, and his name is Joel Embiid, and I'll get to him a little bit. But if you look at it on paper, yeah, it's great. With Tyrese Maxey at guard, you got the young rookie VJ Edgecombe had a really good year last year. And then you got Jaylen Brown, who they got in a trade earlier this offseason in a absolute heist from the Celtics. And then you put him in there, and that team's going to be very good. They got Anthony Simons on the bench, and they were able to get Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. He's expected to go there after being released from the Grizzlies. And yeah, man, this team is going to be pretty good. I get it. They still have to fill some parts in this roster and build it out more. But if you look at it on paper, yeah, they look like they could be the best team in the Eastern Conference, talent-wise. But of course, the Knicks are the reigning champions. You got to give them their respect. And some other teams are still really good too. But I still think that, yeah, Philadelphia has the best team going into next season, because now LeBron is going to be the Swiss Army knife, because a lot of us questioned last year that with the Lakers, was he willing to take that third option and be able to play off of other guys, be more of a transition scorer, be more of a playmaker on both sides, played a little bit of defense, and just not hog the ball so much. And he showed it last year with the Lakers. Yeah, he can do it. Luka is obviously the primary ball handler on that team, and he will continue to be that now for the Lakers going into the foreseeable future. But it was the same thing last year, and LeBron, to his credit, he was able to say, hey, Luka's the guy. He's going to hold the ball. I'm going to try my best to get open on some passes from him, get to the paint, be a beast in transition, because he's still a really good player in transition. He was led the league in transition points last year at 41 years old, and he didn't look like he slowed down. I get it. Yeah, he's not as athletic as he used to be when he was in his prime in Cleveland and with the Miami Heat, but he can still get his points in transition. He's still in an amazing shape, and he's going to continue to do that for the Sixers. And they're going to be a really fast, athletic team, because Tyrese Maxey is an absolute blur as a point guard. VJ Edgecombe is super athletic, and he's going to get even more confident and get in transition. And then LeBron, he's going to keep doing his thing in transition as well. Jaylen Brown is a little more of a mid-range ISO ball kind of guy, but he can also throw some dunks down. He's pretty athletic, and he can get out in transition as well. But the real thing is, yeah, Joel Embiid. He's the slowest one in this whole lineup here because he's a very slow-footed, big burly center, and he's obviously not going to be a transition guy. But in this predicament, he doesn't have to play that many games because you already know with him, you can't rely on his health. He's always going to be out with injury. There's always something wrong with him. He's going to have a little nick, a little knack there. But with LeBron there and being able to play with these three other guys, he can take some nights off. He probably won't play a lot of back to backs. I doubt. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't play any back to backs at all the whole season. He'll probably sit them both out and not play, and he'll probably play maybe half of what he played last year, and it still wasn't a lot because his services are not really needed until the playoffs. Because we saw last year in that first round against the Celtics when he had that crazy game 7, he scored 36 points. He was well needed, and his presence is shown in the playoffs when it slows down, and you need a big man that can go in the post and bang and get those tough points. And he showed that he can do that. But as we saw, his body broke down on him again going to the next round against the Knicks, and he was pretty much a non-factor going forward. But if you're a 76ers fan, you got to be confident now because now LeBron takes the load off of him, and he can sit out those games, and he'll be fresh. There's no excuse for Joel Embiid not to be fresh going into these playoffs. There's no excuse at all. If he can't play in these playoffs and not be at least 90% of what he should be with all the time off he will get now because he has so much help from these guys in the starting lineup, then he's just a lost cause. But I think Nick Nurse is a very smart head coach. He's going to find a way to keep the tread off his tires and use the talent that he has to his advantage other than him to keep him as fresh as possible. So I expect Joel Embiid to be ready to go when it's playoff time. But of course, the question is who's going to get the ball most of the time? Because Tyrese Maxey has a very high usage rate, and Jaylen Brown, when he was traded from the Celtics, he wanted to be the number one option on the team. But you can argue now he's probably the number 3 option. I would say he's the second option on this team currently. But there's going to be times where LeBron has the ball and he's going to get his points, and he's gonna have nights where he's gonna be like, "Hey, I'm red hot. I got the hot hand. I want to go out there and get my points." So will Jaylen Brown be happy with that? That's something that Nick Nurse has to figure it out because I get it. It's on paper. It looks like a fantastic fit, but sometimes it can be a little too much chefs in the kitchen, and that's a big problem that could happen. So Nick Nurse has to be able to sit these guys down and be like, "Hey, you're the point guard. You're going to get your points off of his passes. You're going to get rebounds. You're going to play defense. Somebody in this trio or foursome here has to take a step back." And I would think it would be LeBron, but in that case, would it be the 4th option? Because yeah, Tyrese Maxey is the young superstar on this team, and he's going to have the ball most of the time. Jaylen Brown wants to get his points, and he wants to be more of an ISO mid-range guy, and he plays at a slower pace. And VJ Edgecombe's a very good player. He was first team all rookie last year, and the kid wants to get better, and he needs to get better with more touches. So I think LeBron taking a step back is a big possibility here. I still think that he will be able to play the 3rd option that he was with the Lakers and play more of that style, play more of the transition, play a little more defense because now he's a starting power forward. They're gonna need some defense there, so I think LeBron will be able to play a little more defense, be a little more physical in the post, and help Joel Embiid because Joel Embiid, even when he's out there, he's a bit of a slow-footed center. So the 76ers defense is going to be a little bit of a interesting thing to see. Although in the backcourt they do have some guys that can defend with Edgecombe and Jaylen Brown. But yeah, when it comes to the front court, they have to figure that out. So we'll see how that goes. But offensively, yeah, I think Tyrese Maxey will have the ball most of the time. Jaylen Brown will be the 2nd option. I think VJ Edgecombe will be more of a gadget guy when it comes to being the 3rd option. He's going to catch lobs. He's going to be more of the primary on-ball defender against the other team's best player. And I think that's how the chemistry is going to go. And then Joel Embiid's going to be your mystery guy. He's the X factor here, because if he gives you 20 plus points in this offense, then I don't know how you can stop them. They're going to be an absolute scary team to watch, and it's a team full of all stars. And if you're a Sixers fan, you got to be very excited, because I think they're going to be a very good team. And I honestly thought that even before the LeBron move, that they were going to be a really good team, and they're going to be a top contender to win the Eastern Conference next year, as things are going forward into free agency and possibly more trades with some guys that are restricted free agents and stuff like that. And there's still going to be some more moves that could be happening. But as we currently sit right now, I do think that the 76ers are the best team in the Eastern Conference. I think they'll win the Eastern Conference. LeBron is motivated to win one more championship. He showed that, because I thought he was going to go back to Cleveland. That was my prediction. I really thought he was going to have his swan song and play in his last 2 years in Cleveland and have his farewell tour. But the fact that he took less and he is willing to take the step back on this team, it shows that he still wants to win. And the pressure's on. I wouldn't say it's totally on him. I would say mostly it's on Tyrese Maxey and on Jaylen Brown to deliver. But there's still a little bit of pressure, and the fact that he's taking a step back and he wants to keep winning. And he's LeBron. He's competing against Michael Jordan every single game. And in my opinion, I don't think he'll surpass Jordan. But if he can continue to stack up these titles and win more and put up these numbers that he's always putting up, these amazing numbers in his career, then maybe he can take a knock at the door and possibly get in the conversation as being the greatest player ever. So LeBron's a very tactical person, and he really thinks hard. And there was a reason why that people were saying that he was taking too long. To be honest, I thought I was getting pretty impatient. I was like, dude, make a decision already. Are you going to Cleveland? Are you going to Philly? Are you going to Golden State? You should know by now. This shouldn't take you 2 months to figure this out. But he figured it out, and he made the decision, and this is the best decision for him. And he found ways to make it work. He's going to live in New York during the season, and then travel to Philly, so it's not too bad of a commute for him. And yeah, he's gonna be comfortable, and he looks like he's ready to go, and he's gonna do his thing. So I think the Sixers will be a top 3 seed. At the moment, I will pick them to win the Eastern Conference, because I think the Knicks are a good team, but I think they'll be a one-off. I don't see them going back to back and getting to the finals again. Although I really have gained a lot of respect for Jalen Brunson and that team for what they did and the grit that they showed. And yeah, sports are not made on paper, and I get it. I'm picking the Sixers, and I'm looking at the paper, but I think in the end they're gonna find a way to get their revenge, because the Knicks really put it on them last year, and now they got LeBron, and now they got Jaylen Brown. They're ready to punch it back in the mouth. I think they will. So I like the Sixers coming out of the East next year, and it's gonna be fun to watch. So Sixers fans, be excited. The King is in Philly. It's the reverse of Fresh Prince. He went from LA to Philly instead of going from Philly to LA. It's you know how it is. And yeah, you got 2 guys you're trying to line up that are gonna make a big difference in this offseason, in Jaylen Brown and LeBron. And they're gonna be a really good team next year. So it's gonna be exciting, and be ready for a lot of primetime games in the schedule now, because now that LeBron has signed there. I wouldn't be surprised if the 76ers are on opening night. I would totally want to be surprised if the 76ers are playing on Christmas. And yeah, they're going to be a fun team to watch next year. And it's going to be a lot of interesting things coming out of Philly going into next NBA season. So now that LeBron officially has signed in Philadelphia, I got to talk about the teams that lost the sweepstakes. And yeah, the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers were trying hard to go after him, and the Miami Heat as well. But I never bought into the Heat. I did not think that he would go there. That roster is still very unfinished, and I didn't think LeBron's services would really make a difference there, although he's still a really good player. But I just don't think the Heat were a real option. And the real options really were the Warriors and the Cavaliers. Beginning with the Cavaliers, I thought he was going to go there. this is a big loss for them because I get it. They went to the conference finals last year, but they were totally deep pants by the Knicks, and you saw their flaws with James Harden getting picked on defense and his lack of consistency on the offensive end. Donovan Mitchell was up and down as well, and those two big men really were not able to get things going throughout the entire series. And overall, just their toughness and their willingness to win and get over the next step, get over the hump, going to the next step and winning a championship was not there. And I thought LeBron was going to go there and bring that championship experience and teach these guys how what it takes to take the next step and to win. And I just thought it was the perfect scenario. He was going to go home where he started, where he's from, and finish it off and have that farewell tour. And at the same time, try to win a championship and bring another championship to Cleveland. And that would have been an amazing story if he would have been able to do that. But he thought otherwise. But I just thought that it would have been the best thing for him. He's going to get a lot of scrutiny, although he is LeBron. He's going to get scrutiny anyway. But the fact that he didn't go back to Cleveland was the big one. And if he would have done that, and even if he didn't win, I still think the Cavs fans would have loved to have him back, and he still would have been beloved way more if he was able to finish off his final 2 years there and go into the sunset as a Cavalier. But it is what it is, and the Cavs still have a good team. James Harden is still a free agent as we speak, and they may have to overpay for him, so that may be a bit of a crutch. And the Cavs are really hovering over going over the second apron. And yeah, I still think they're a good team, but I don't think they're better than Philadelphia. I don't think they're better than the Knicks. Arguably, they could. I don't know if they're better than the Raptors, and if they do get Kawhi Leonard, but that's another big story. I don't know what's going on there at all. I would expect them to get Kawhi, but with the whole Clippers situation and Steve Ballmer and all that stuff and the scandal there, it's going to take a while, and we don't know if Kawhi even does go there. So we'll still wait on that. But if they do get Kawhi, then the Raptors are going to be a really good team, and the Pacers are going to be back, and I think they're going to be good. And Tyrese Halliburton will be 2 years off of his torn Achilles, and he'll be ready to go. And that fast-paced offense will get back and going. And yeah, I think the Cavaliers will be about a 4 or 5 seed around there, be around that zone. And yeah, I don't think they're happy about this. It's going to be tough for them to recover. And that fan base, as I said, would have loved to have LeBron back, and he would have fit in perfectly because they needed a small forward and they needed a real playmaker. Because I get it, James Harden is a really good playmaker, but as I said many times in the playoffs, he comes up small, and if LeBron was there, he would have been able to take that away and not put so much pressure on Harden. And I get it, Harden's more of a totally on-ball player, and he can't play off the ball. But if it came to time where James Harden came up small, LeBron could have been like, "Hey, James, give me the rock. I'll take over. I'll play make. I'll figure out a way to get you involved. But we cannot keep playing the same way that we saw last year in the play in that conference finals against the Knicks, because he got totally exposed. And going into the next playoffs, it's gonna be probably the same aspect again. And yeah, the Cavs got to figure it out in-house, whatever they can do. And Kenny Atkinson was totally outcoached in that series, and he was very questioned a lot coming out of that series. And a lot of people are saying, is he the right guy at the job for the Cavaliers? And it's going to be interesting next year. So now that they didn't get LeBron, there's a lot of pressure on Donovan Mitchell, who got an extension from them in this offseason for a lot of money. So yeah, they're going to have to answer a lot of questions. And now that LeBron is not there, it's even more pressure on them. So we'll see what the Cavs can do. A big loss for them. And yeah, they'll still be a solid team. They'll be in the race for a top 4 seed. But it's a sad day if you're a Cavs fan. And now to the Golden State Warriors. And this one, I think, is even more crushing for in terms of a team not being able to get LeBron. And yeah, the Golden State Warriors, uh, they look like they were the team to go get him. It was the perfect scenario, supposedly from we thought, because we heard that it was a family decision, and LeBron wanted to stay on the West Coast, but that turned out to be not true. But from what everyone was seeing, it was the absolute perfect scenario. He's right there, living in LA. He could take the private jet over to San Francisco, back and forth, be there in 45 minutes, and the roster would have been pretty good with Steph Curry. Obviously, they were possibly trying to get Anthony Davis, but that fell through the wayside. Draymond Green opted out of his deal, and he was possibly looking at taking less to come back and let LeBron come in, and they're going to be the Golden State Warriors, not the Golden State Warriors, the Golden State Warriors, and try to go at it one last time and try to win a championship with an older roster. And then Jimmy Butler, depending on if he was involved in the trade to free up salary, that would have been interesting. But most likely, he probably would have been able to stay if they were able to financially figure things out. But yeah, a team with Stephen Curry, um, Jimmy Butler, LeBron James, Draymond Green, and possibly Anthony Davis would have been pretty good. But things just didn't work out. They weren't able to get Anthony Davis, as I said. He's probably going to get a major extension in Washington, and he's going to get the bag over there. And Jimmy Butler is coming off an ACL. Draymond Green, he's still a free agent as we speak, but I would think he would want to come back to Golden State. I don't know if he wants to go somewhere else. And Stephen Curry is the lone duck there again. And to his credit, he was he played well in that playing game against the Clippers and got them into the playoffs, but it was all she wrote pretty quick. And yeah, the Warriors are in a very tough situation now. And Stephen Curry's not getting any older, man. He's going to be 39 years old coming into the season, and his time is really, really on the wayside. And this is an absolute bummer to him. I'm pretty sure he would have loved to be alongside LeBron and get some nice passes for 3 pointers. And we saw many times in the Olympics when they were together, they were a pretty good match. And LeBron loved playing with them. And he hinted a lot in this offseason that he possibly would have loved to play with Steph, and Steph returned the favor, and Steve Kerr was making jokes that we got him, we got LeBron, and LeBron's coming here, and it was looking like it was a big possibility. But the fact that he's not going there, that's probably a big slap in the face of Stephen Curry, and he's getting more hurt and nicked up. Last couple of years, he had a knee injury that kept him out for a lot of the season, and yeah, it's a very, very tough situation if you're a Warriors fan. And you can make the case that they're failing Steph Curry. They're not making enough moves. All they did this offseason was just re-sign Kristaps Porzingis, and they'll probably bring back Draymond Green, but that's not a whole lot, and it's not going to be enough to compete in a very tough Western Conference. They were able to draft Jaxo Lendenberg, and he looks like he can be a really good player in the front court for them, but it's still not enough, and it's tough for Stephen Curry. He's still playing at a super high level, but the fact that he doesn't have the pieces to really compete is a bit tough, and not getting LeBron is even more of a crutch for that. So I think they'll possibly be a playing team and compete to get into the first round, but it's gonna be a lot of heavy lifting. And as I said, Stephen Curry is not been able to stay healthy as much as he used to be, and it puts way more pressure on his already old tires to get the job done at his advanced age. And we'll see. The Warriors have some draft picks they can give up. They have a couple of players they can trade, but they gotta make moves now because yeah, Steph is not getting any younger, and a lot of people are questioning if indeed they're willing to do that. And if they are, hey, Stephen Curry's title window may not be closed, but as I see for the foreseeable future, looking at it now, I think his title window is closed. And yeah, this is looking like it's going to be the swan song for Stephen Curry, and he'll no longer be in the championship window going forward. and it's a very tough weekend if you're a Warriors fan. A very tough weekend if you're a Cavs fan, and yeah, your teams are probably not going to be really in the mix to possibly win the championship next year. And of course, LeBron would have been the equalizer for both of them. But now, yeah, the King is in Philadelphia, and it's going to be a very, very interesting season to watch. Where the Lakers go from here, that's another big story. The Lakers now, they're possibly looking at getting Jonathan Kuminga, and they said supposedly that he was going to agree to a signing trade in the coming days, but that kind of hit a lull. And yeah, there's still a couple of restricted free agents out there with Peyton Watson, Jalen Duren. He's a restricted free agent. He wants a lot of money. And yeah, now that LeBron's gone, there could be a couple more moves that could be happening in the next couple of weeks. And finally, the offseason can fully close out. And yeah, we can finally get ready for the next NBA season. And it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. So keep posted with that, guys. And the NFL training camps are starting to open up. We had a couple of day ones in training camp, and yeah, it's gonna be exciting. And we're getting closer and closer to the NFL. I'm very excited about that. The Rams look really good, and a lot of other teams look like they're gonna be ready to go. And yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch. And the MLB season is getting going in the second half, and a couple of teams are starting to kick it into high gear and get ready into the playoffs. And yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch. And it is a bit of a slow ride right now because it's mostly just baseball and mostly just MLS soccer and stuff like that when it comes to me watching it. But the NBA, as I brought up today, still took over the headlines when it comes to the news, and the NFL started doing that as training camps open up around the league. And yeah, the two King Sports will take over pretty soon. But as we speak right now, it's still mostly baseball. And yeah, we'll see heading into fall. And it's crazy. It's already going to be August. It's hard to believe the end of the summer is already near. It's wild. So yeah, October may be here pretty faster than we think. And once that happens, in October, it's a good time for sports because NFL is already getting going. The MLB postseason is underway, and basketball is starting to get going too. And yeah, man, it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch. So be excited. I'm excited for that. And yeah, it's gonna be a great time to be a sports fan. So hang in there. The dog days of summer are almost over, and once they're over, it's gonna be a great time to watch sports. So keep it posted with that. And with that, this was the West Coast Mindset presented by the Recliner Media Network. I'm Alberto Lucero, and I will see you guys next week. LeBron finally signed, and we can finally move on with our lives.
This the West, 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 West. This the West, 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 the West Coast. This the West, 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 the West, West. This the West, 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 the West.